What's up? Back at you with another video. Did you know that Zimbabwe is paying back the farmers? Let's watch.
Shifting focus to Zimbabwe, the country is paying millions in compensation to white farmers whose land was forcibly seized 2 decades ago. Zimbabwe's government has announced an initial payout of $3 million to local white farmers who lost their land in the early 2000s. The farms were seized during a controversial land reform program between 2000 and 2001. Now, this is the first payment under a 2020 compensation deal between the state and the farmers. Under that agreement, Zimbabwe promised to pay $3.5 billion in total. The current payout covers 378 farms out of the 740 approved for compensation. Now, it accounts for just 1% of the $311 million allocated for the first phase. The government says that this marks a step toward honoring its obligations to compensate farmers affected by land seizures. In 2000, then President Robert Mugabe launched a radical land reform. Thousands of white farmers lost their land, which was redistributed to black Zimbabweans. The move was meant to correct historic injustices. As at independence in 1980, most fertile land was owned by just 4,000 black farmers. But the land reforms were often violent and aggressive. Critics say that many farms went to Mugabe's political allies, while new landholders lacked the tools and training to farm effectively. In the aftermath, agricultural production collapsed and the economy crashed. Now, Zimbabwe's relations with the West also fell apart. President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who came to power after the 2017 coup, has been trying to repair ties with the West. Zimbabwe has been isolated from the global financial system for over 2 decades. Its economy is still burdened with massive foreign debt. Earlier this year, the government also began compensating foreign investors whose land was protected under bilateral treaties. The latest compensation move also comes as neighboring South Africa faces tensions with the U.S. President Donald Trump accuses South Africa of seizing white-owned farms and has used it to justify cutting aid and expelling diplomats. Analysts say that Zimbabwe's payouts could help to repair Western relations and avoid international scrutiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. As we are in this situation where a black people is waiting for land, there have been politicians who have promised them land. They've been told that they will get the land eventually. I don't remember in 1994, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, there being such a serious thirst for land among the population, it being a popular thing among the people. It suddenly gained ground with the EFF at a later stage. And now the EFF that has given us these dreams has broken up. We see Mbuyiseni Ndlozi on the radio station earning his money, not chasing the land or chasing to start another political party. He seems tired, seems demoralized. We see now Floyd Shivambu going to Bushiri's church over there, and there's not so much passion for the land. And so I'm really struggling and not understanding how the land will be gotten now that even the expropriation bill that was being pursued without compensation means that really land is not going to be bought with money and then be given for free to people like grants. Grants already are a rare thing. I used to think that South Africa is giving grants to black people, that this is something that belongs to us, that we are entitled to. It's either a grant for unemployment, SASSA, grant for kids, grant for being the aged, or I thought there were grants for entrepreneurs. You give this black talented young person 500,000 for free. They go and they do their thing. And I thought that I would get that at some point. So now that is no longer something in my mind. I've come to the reality. I've knocked on doors. Entrepreneurs get the opportunity to take debt from government direct funding institutions that are friendly to startups. You go to them exactly like you would a bank. You go to them with your documents exactly like they would be if you were taking them to a private investor. And you're given a loan with interest, a term sheet. And so this, for me, knowing this, knowing this for myself allows me to, shall I say, extrapolate this understanding of how our government works, allows me to deduce what would happen if indeed the land was bought with money from the white people. It would certainly not be given out for free. Land is far more complex to work and make profitable than money in your hand. So it would be better to give somebody money, the value of that piece of land, for them to go and farm in the land of ideas, in the land of the internet. A person can go and buy a plot there and start a digital business and farm an audience, farm views, farm monetization. It would be better to give people money to buy cameras. Put the whole youth on YouTube would be better. So seems like the land is very far away. I did ask the question in my previous video. I said, you guys, I admit I'm no longer waiting for the land. You who are, what does it look like when it arrives? When do you get it? We only live one life. We are fresh from apartheid, from being held up. Now that we're free, are we going to spend our lives waiting and grooving, celebrating that we've come out of struggle and waiting for the next victory, the land to arrive, a grant to be placed on our laps? Hey, man, as I grow up, I'm like, yo. If you were to try and speak these things to our fellow people, many of them will start calling you names. They'd really start calling you names. Some literally even go into the comments and say, yo, bro, you sound like Atlejo or something like that. When I try to address issues about our spiritualism and how it is problematic, and I point out things that I've seen myself to be errors in our thinking and our understanding of how the world works, people are like, nah, man, would have been better if you had just not spoken like that, you know. Don't wake us up from any delusion. So I asked the question to some, yo, the land, how are you going to get it in this one life? Somebody attempted to answer and they said, it may not be me, but we will attempt to get it for our children. But still, he didn't specify how much land that would be and how it would be distributed fairly to the whole population so that some are not standing with their hands out saying, yo, I ain't got my piece. Where is it? Send me a coordinate or a pin so I can park my car, stand outside and see that this is my piece to do something with. There's serious questions about this dream that we have. Zimbabwe is paying farmers who left. The white world is incredibly hostile on the issue of land and property. The Israelis and the Americans are already standing watching, saying, what are you going to do? And so I'm not waiting for land. I never really was waiting for land. I have no dreams of being a farmer. Maybe when I'm older, might have those kind of aspirations. But for now, I'm a very digital person. I like what I'm doing. I prefer what I'm doing. I don't want to be buying sprinklers and pesticides. So you who are wanting the land, who are indeed passionate, who have a hope and a belief that one day it will arrive, tell me once again, how do you see it happening, given what you just saw there? How do you see an ANC government buying a farm in Stellenbosch for a couple millions, tens of millions of dollars, and then calling people around Cape Town to come and partake in that land? Nah, I don't know. I think Christ is going to come back before the land ever returns. Ladies and gents, hope you like, hope you comment, hope you share. Let me know what you think, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.